cold cases to serial killers, missing persons, and more.
100% he did this.
I'd go off into fantasy world.
How much more lucky can you get that you're not on death row?
You want to know what we know.
My name is Jay. This is Guilty of Crime.
Hello, everybody. What's going on? What's going on with today? It's not Friday the 13th. What's going on in chat here? I see some things. Trigger warning today. Now, Jennifer Soto is in the audio. Obviously, this is the plunder audio that came out yesterday. Docket covered it. So, yes, it's a sensitive topic. Trigger warning. What got me was Jennifer Soto saying Maddie's dead in the car and then it falling flat. She cries a little bit and then she switches up. So new audio that you haven't heard before. Docket calls it new. I call it the audio you haven't heard before except for yesterday. So trigger warning. This is the way my mind works. I listen to audio several times. I gather what I think and then I tell you what I think and what's going to encompass my episode. One of my episodes said evil sex crimes. So yes, this is my title, my channel, and it comes from my crazy mind of madness of studying true crime for over 20 years. So I love you all. Thank you for being here and supporting me. Please do hit that like button. Yes, Olivia Molina, the lack of emotion Jennifer Soto has is truly mind-blowing. We're going to hear her at the very beginning crying and then how much she switches up. But in my mind, that's what I heard was her saying, my daughter's dead in the car, but not even the way I did. Just my daughter's dead in the car. And then it just kind of, all right. Ashton Lee, I love your titles, girl. Thank you. I do my best to keep a filter on, but not too much because what we're talking about is harsh content. My missing piece, Jax. Good to see you. Hi, Jay. Love the detective. Called out potato. Yes, we're going to listen to that. We're going to react today. I want to thank Plunder. Please do drop a link in the chat. And hello to everybody. Hello, Melly. Hello, Michelle Lalonde. All in Tanks. Randy B. Good to see you. All right. Mentally ill people tend to be emotionally detached. And then maybe all of the drugs on top of that. Yours truly. Hey, Jay. Mods in chat. What's going on? Good to see you. Witch. And Wednesday, Ophelia. All right. So you guys let me know how you feel in chat. I saw that first comment there, and can we post a plunder link, please? Can one of my mods post a link? I was reading chat and saying hello to everybody, and I see Jay for Justice, which I'm honored that Jay for Justice came in my chat. Thank you, girl. I do watch your channel and support you. I sent you an email to personally address you and find out what you meant about my titles and how I could be better accommodating. So Roman Cordova might like my titles as he says, die, Stern. All right. So you guys let me know. You're in my chat. You're my crime crew. You pay to be members. Let me know what you guys think about my titles. All right. And if I need to be a little bit, a little less, you guys let me know. All right. What's up? What's going down, everybody? Let's start with the audio of Jennifer Soto crying and then how often she switches up. Again, I will gladly thank Plunder. And as I thank Plunder, normally what I do is I minimize the audio and you guys have to look at me animate whatever's going on. But today I'm going to go ahead and put it up so you guys can see clearly it's from Plunder. She's got it watermarked, audio marked, and everything. So you guys, there's no chance of not knowing where this came from. All right. So we want to thank Plunder. Docket, I love you. You're the man. You're just bringing it. All right. Agreed. Tarot, justice for Maddie. All right. Yeah. Thank you guys all. titles are fine, but Jen needs to be in jail. I agree. And that's what I'm focusing on is Jen. Hashtag arrest Jen Soto. Let's start listening to Jen cry and then switch it up. Jumped in on time. In the chat, I was 2 minutes late, but that's okay. CBC, I love you guys. You guys are amazing. Hit that like button. All right, arrest Jen Soto. Let's go.
True crime audio.
So, Plunder watermarks her material, which is fantastic. Get your credit due. We love you, Plunder. I'm sure every subscriber is already subscribed to her, but if you're not, please do that.
All right, the date is February 29, 2024. Time is 5:09 p.m. We are at 4012 Santa Maria Drive. In reference to case number 24001809. It's myself, Detective Morris, Detective Smallwood, and Jennifer Soto. So, to give you a little bit of what's happening now, there's a few other additional pieces of evidence that we're collecting at the time. Okay. Some of that evidence came from Stefan's phone. Okay. Some of the.
All right. And I want to remind you all when this was taken. I want you guys to know if you didn't catch all of it yesterday, let's say, you know that this was before they found Maddie, but they did have they did know and they saw the video of Maddie slumped over in the car with her mouth open, and they had to ask Jen Soto twice. So, all right, we get it. Oh no, I just wanted to make sure. I get it, Taro. I just wanted to give the dues. That's all.
Pictures that were on the phone, okay. That we've identified belonging to Maddie as well. So clothing that she was wearing, that sort of stuff.
Plunder.
That's what we're
True
collecting.
crime audio.
We will leave you an evidence sheet to let you know what we took. Everything that we've taken from the house is in an evidence sheet that's going to be left here for you. Okay. It may take them a little bit because what they do is they take a picture of it, they collect it, go to the next one, take a picture of it, collect it. So it'll be a little bit, but it shouldn't be too long. Okay, so we spoke yesterday and we've got a little bit more information since the last time we spoke. Last night, I guess it would be.
True crime audio.
So I'm going to ask you to go through this again. Monday morning when you were asleep, Stefan and Maddie were upstairs and she's going to school.
Now, this is one of my favorite times in this audio. It's not yet, but one of the favorite times is when the police officer has to tell her about her lack of emotion and when it's proper and when it's not. All right. So if you listen to this and then you also look at her written statement I'm looking at, and it clearly says that today around 8 a.m., I saw Maddie getting ready for school. I'm not sure what time they departed. So keep that in mind as she talks more and more. They're gathering information and they want her to keep talking. So thank God for these police officers.
Me through that morning again. How, like you mentioned something about you hearing noises and then you woke up. So how exactly did that go down?
Monday morning, I was woken up by Stephan Sterns coming into my bedroom to try to put the leash on the dog. He was saying, "Here, puppy, let's go," and trying to leash him up. I got up off the bed at that moment because my dog has a tendency to pee a little bit when you're too direct and you put a leash on him. Mm-hmm. You have to like talk to him nicely and yeah. He got the leash on the dog and told me, "Okay, don't worry about it. Just go back to sleep." And I said, "Okay." So I went back to sleep.
Yeah, there's a lot of pauses in here. A lot of times where it just goes silent and you hear the air conditioning running. Yes, I'm glad he called her out about how emotionless she was about Maddie. We're going to hear that most of the interview, only a couple times. And then I feel like she tries to relate with the cops. And when she tries to relate with the cops, she starts cussing and saying things that are out of her character. So keep that in mind. What's going on, everybody? Yeah, it gets worse. It gets worse for me.
Plunder. True
I
crime
think this was
audio.
around. I'm assuming this was around 8:00 in the morning because I'm assuming, oh, he's getting ready to take her to school. He's walking the dog before he does that. Yeah. So I'm not sure what time it was, but I think it was around 8:00 in the morning when this happened.
Okay.
I thought I had heard somebody in the kitchen. I don't know who it could be. But yeah, I just heard sounds, but I'm not sure who it was. Who was in the kitchen? Could have been Stefan, could have been Maddie.
Okay.
All right, y'all. I put closed captions on this, so when she whispers, you can hear or you can read what she's saying. The screen is full size. Hopefully, you can read it and appreciate it. Yeah, she does think she's being cute, which really bothers me because she's not, and the police officer isn't buying it. All right, and you guys, while you're chatting, put your opinions in, what you want to say, what you want to be heard, and I'll post them up there. All right. Thank you. Hit the like button. 537 people in chat. Thank you.
Could have been one of my roommates.
When the deputies first talked to you, when you were reporting her missing,
Yeah.
you remember writing a statement?
Yes.
Okay. In that statement, you say you saw Maddie.
I saw. I know. I misremembered. I didn't see her.
All right, she misremembered. I just called that out a second ago. I have a piece of paper here in front of me that does say, today around 8 a.m., I saw Maddie getting ready for school. I'm not sure what time they departed. Stephan Sterns took her to school and dropped her off close to the school on Town Loop Boulevard between Town Center and Hunters Park. And then she goes on to lie about 8:30 and 8:45 was that time. Remember, she was at the condo and they got her on video slumped over around those times. So that none of that's correct.
Okay.
I wanted to believe I saw her, but I didn't.
But when you're talking to the deputy on his body cam, you describe what she's wearing.
Because she had picked it out the night before.
Lies.
I told her to set up her clothes the night before to have it ready, so she was ready to go.
Did you do a interview with Fox 35 recently?
Yes.
Okay. In that interview, you say something to the effect that you don't want her to come home. Do you remember that?
No.
I think we all caught that in the interview. She says, I don't want her to come home, but she was saying, I don't want her to come home harmed. So keep that in mind. The officer is doing a great job. This is the theme of this is Maddie being dead in the car. The officer is just telling her and her covering for Stephan Sterns. She goes back and forth. All right. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and share. Thank you.
Oh. Why would I say that?
I don't know. That's part of the interview.
Maybe
I don't know if you listened to it or if you saw it.
I haven't seen anything.
Okay. Maybe when we're done with this, you can Google it to see if you misspoke or.
I must have misspoken because that's not. I remember recalling asking her to come home. Please come home. We miss you. I want you here. Like, please be safe. I remember saying that.
Okay. All right. I want to touch a little bit more, go more in depth on the relationship that you have with Stefan. Now, you said you guys have been dating for a while, and then you kind of broke up, and it's been on and off for a few years, I guess you'd say, right?
Yeah.
During that time, was he seeing anybody else?
No, I want you to remind you that, Scarlett, you're right. Some of us don't respond as others do. But I do want you to realize, and everybody can have their own opinion, that many people heard this audio and are kind of shifting between maybe she didn't know. Maybe she didn't know, but I'm going to tell you right off the top, it should be against the law to I'm sorry, I drank this and got the hiccups. To send your daughter with an ex-boyfriend to sleep, especially, we're going to talk about his kinks when you know that he has kinks and she refers to it as butt stuff. All right? Grown man, little girl, that should not be okay.
I was told at one point sometime last year that, hey, the girl I was hanging out with, one of my coworkers I was hanging out with outside of work, who I said I was hanging out with, I was really having sex with her. Because I asked him, I'm like, did you have sex with her? Like, because you told me you were just hanging out. Did you have sex with her?
True crime
and he admitted
audio.
that he did. I think her name is Marielle, but I'm not sure what her last name would be.
Okay.
So she questioned Stephan Sterns about another girl that he's sleeping with, but she doesn't question anything about her daughter. She doesn't question the weird vibes that they must have when Jen walks in the room right after they just finish something, or after he showers her and he's prepping her. She doesn't catch on to that, but she's worried about other women. I'm very confused about that. What's up, Jennifer White? Yeah, a lot of damaging things. Adderall, hydroxyzine, neurologically damaging meds for kids. And you know what I said when I was watching this? My daughter full on has ADHD, and so does my son. It's our God-given right to choose to give our children meds or not. And she chose to give her daughter meds from a young age. So it is a choice. You don't have to give your children those things. All right, let's go. I had to say
Now,
that.
the relationship that you had with Stefan, you told me that you haven't had sex in a while.
Yeah.
When you guys were together and intimate with each other, it was maybe a little uncomfortable, but something that we have to discuss is when you guys were intimate with each other. A lot of people call it vanilla sex. Some people call it, whatever kind of sex you want to call it. How would you describe you and Stefan when you guys were intimate?
Pretty vanilla. I would say just missionary and oral, but nothing more than that. Missionary.
Okay. Has he ever asked you to perform a certain way?
True crime audio.
Anything that you think would be out of the ordinary?
He's I want to say he's joked around about wanting anal sex and like, yeah, we should do that. We should try that. And I'm like, absolutely not. No. To me, his penis is average size, but thick and it hurts. So I don't want even normal sex.
That's so bad, everybody. It's so bad when you think about that. And I didn't put that in my title. About, that's so bad. If she's saying it hurts for her, for a grown woman, could you imagine poor Maddie? Maddie, let's say a prayer for you. Rest in peace, Maddie. Rest in peace, Maddie. We need full and complete justice for Maddie Soto. Oh, man. All right, let's keep going. Please hit the like button. What a hard topic today. I'm going to gift some memberships right now.
It's hurt to me, so I just didn't want to do it anymore, honestly.
Okay. Nothing other than that you think would be out of the ordinary?
No.
Okay. All right, so he is on medication. You told me he's on medication for insomnia.
Insomnia.
Can you say that right? Sleep apnea.
Yeah.
And then I believe you said ADHD.
Yeah, and also anxiety meds, I think.
Anxiety. Okay. Anything else that you can think of?
He did have, I think,
Plunder.
a
True
vial
crime
of,
audio.
I'm not sure if it was Viagra or Cialis, but one or the other. I know he was having a hard time getting an erection or being able to enjoy getting off.
I think he was having trouble getting off with Jen Soto. That's what I think. I don't think he had trouble at all based on all of the pictures and the dates that coincide with it. I think it was just her, and he was sticking around for Maddie. I don't think that he was into her at all. I'm going to gift memberships right now. Thank you.
And he ended up figuring out we couldn't figure out. He went to the doctors, tried to figure out why he was having these issues. They told him it must be something mental because physically his body's fine, should be acting normal.
Okay.
But we found out it was a side effect due to the Adderall medication he was on, that he was not able to enjoy himself sexually once he got off Adderall for a while and was able to enjoy.
Make sure you put your gifts on. And sorry about that. Today is blast. It's like 80 degrees and everything's blooming. So I got a little bit of allergies, but I'm all good. Thank you. Just gifted 5 memberships since you have to put up with me today. I love you guys. Let's go. Very sad. We're here together listening. Thank God.
Himself again. I think there was no need for the Cialis or anything like that.
Okay. Would he ever talk to you about what kind of porn he liked watching or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Have you ever, quote unquote, watched porn with him or anything like that?
No. She should have been.
Okay. All right. Now, Maddie, what medication did she take?
She was on.
Yep. I'd be hyperventilating too.
Which is a sleeping medication and anxiety medication. So that, because she suffers from really bad GI issues, she's constantly constipated. What else? She had an asthma inhaler.
That's the first time she does say about the asthma inhaler. So it's refreshing to know that she's thinking about something that really could affect Maddie. Yeah, this is just rough, y'all. Thank you for being in chat. Let's say prayers for Maddie. And let's try to do this instead of judging Jen Soto on her, how instead of being judgmental about her, let's spit facts about the things that she neglected to do. How about that? So nobody could say people act different. They do act different. I agree. But let's talk about the facts. Dee Dee, thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat. It says, Jay, you're the best. You guys are. Let's stick to all the things that she did wrong instead of how we feel about her. How about that?
She had an asthma inhaler.
Plunder. True crime audio.
I can't think of any other meds she was on.
Does she take that medicine to school with her?
The asthma medication, yes. The Adderall I give to her before she goes to school, and the anxiety meds we give it to her when she's at home.
How does she react to this medicine?
Normal.
Like, how does her body react?
Fine.
Okay.
No side effects. No, nothing weird.
Okay. And she takes it in the morning or at night?
Adderall she'll take in the morning. Hydroxyzine, the sleeping meds, or the anxiety meds, either or, probably in the afternoon or evening time close to bed. We use it mostly for sleep aid. That would be given to her at night.
And yes, that is a fact. She still is defending Stephan Sterns. And she does that the entire time, even after they tell her that they don't think she's alive, even after she knows about the CSAM and everything else, she still defends him for some weird reason. And she does talk about trying to get him a lawyer, and instead she gets herself one.
The asthma medication was used, and the GI medication was given.
Okay. And then medication that you take.
Me?
Yeah.
I take Ziprazidone, which is brand name is Geodon. That's for bipolar medication. I take anxiety medication, lorazepam, methimazole, which is a thyroid medication. I'm also prescribed medical marijuana in capsule form and flower form. And then a vitamin D medication, a really high dose of vitamin D I have to, because I had gastric sleeve surgery a few years ago, so I'm vitamin deficient. So they give me some high doses of medications to keep my vitamins balanced.
Notice how she keeps talking about herself and what she needs. This officer doesn't care about that. What he's getting to is to see what drugs she takes and to see if the drugs that she takes end up in Maddie's system. They are doing a toxicology. They have done one already, and he wants to see what's going to come up, what they're giving her. He's already thinking that they're giving Maddie their pills. So get that right. That's another thing that could be wrong. And if they do find those drugs in her system, maybe they will hold her accountable for something else.
I think that's it.
Okay.
Plunder, true crime audio.
All right. So going back to the morning that Stefan takes her to school, you said you think it's around 8 o'clock when you physically see Stefan messing with the dog?
Yes.
Okay. And you don't see Maddie anywhere?
I don't.
Okay. When Maddie gets dressed for school, like now that I've seen the inside of the house, it looks like a majority of her clothes are in that little partitioned area in the living room.
Yeah.
Does she have clothes anywhere else? Like where would she put clothes to wear to school the next day?
Okay. Where would she get dressed? She would get dressed in her bedroom right there, that little nook in the living room. All her clothes are there. When she takes off her clothes, her dirty laundry hamper is typically in my bathroom downstairs, and she'll just dump it in the basket. But there is no basket there right now. She's been dumping everything on the floor. I think the basket is currently being used with clean clothes. So I just wanted to keep the clean clothes and the dirty clothes separated. So dirty clothes are on the floor right now. What's in the basket should be like half clean, half dirty clothes, I think.
Again, he doesn't necessarily need to know the dynamics. He's trying to figure out what's where so he can collect and let the other officers know and understand that Stefan's clothes shouldn't be mixed in Maddie's more than likely. He's trying to figure out those dynamics. Now, Scarlett, you're right when you say, I hate to tell you this happens a lot, but you only know this because you went missing. You know what else happens a lot? Many women have been charged for letting their daughters be with other people for money, other men, we'll call them pimping them out. So I see those articles all the time because Jess, if you're here, not the mama, sends me these things all the time. So you can't put that past her either. All right. And somebody else said something about Woody Allen. Let's see, the Woody Allen thing. She said, don't do that to me. Another thing is that she called poison control. And, I didn't catch that for a while. When someone says OD, she could have been OD'd. There's another time that Jen thought she might have been OD'd because she called poison control. Tell me about that one. Did you know about that one? Did you guys hear that yet?
Okay. When you go to sleep, when you were sleeping that night, was your door open
Plunder,
or shut?
true
It
crime
is left cracked
audio.
open.
Cracked open. Okay. Would you see or hear Maddie going to get changed?
I would say yes, but if I weren't deep asleep, and I think I was deep asleep because I didn't hear anything until Stefan came and woke me up to try to get the dog.
All right, here's back with that dog story, folks, and not wanting the dog to pee on her bed. Now, Stephan Sterns admitting to double dosing her, but Jen had already given her the medication, so he probably wasn't planning on her taking that much, but he was planning on giving Maddie enough to be able to do what he wants with her. Do you remember the comment, lay there, be still, don't even breathe, don't move, in reference to his kinks? Yeah, I don't know why she's still free. It's definitely a rumor that she's got full immunity, and I tried to show you guys every way I could that it's not true that she has full immunity, only derivative.
Okay, so he woke you up to help with the dog?
Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't hear tussling around or wrestling around in the kitchen that made you wake up to go help?
No. It was him. He came directly into my room and grabbed the dog, and I got up. I shot up to try to help him. It was until later that after that is when I heard rustling in the kitchen.
Okay. So he takes the dog out, took a potty or whatever it may be, and he comes back inside. Do you see him when he comes back inside?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Of course not.
Do you remember him leaving, saying bye to you or anything like that when he's taking Maddie to school?
I don't think so. I think at this point I was already back deep asleep.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure when he went to walk the dog and left, I fell right back asleep immediately.
Okay. Now you go back to sleep.
Plunder, true crime.
You wake up
audio.
because you have a doctor appointment to go get blood drawn or something like that.
Yeah.
And you told me your appointment was around 10 or something like that, 9, 10?
Yeah, I'll tell you right now. I think it was 10:15. Yes, it was at 10:15.
Okay. So you go to this appointment, and on your way back,
All right, this is her appointment, the one that I thought might have been an alibi. Yeah, Stormcat. I do know why Plunder's doing that now is because somebody used her audio and didn't give her credit. So that's why I'm fully giving her credit, putting it right up on the screen. I don't know. I personally would rather buy it, but I can't get it in a timely fashion. Guilty of Crime has a coroner's report come out yet. It hasn't been available to us. All right, we're going to hear this quite a bit about the rustling in the air. They're giving an interview in the car.
did you talk to Stefan on the phone at all?
I know I talked to him while I was in the parking lot waiting for my blood work to happen. I just don't recall if I called him on my way home as well. It would seem like I would do that, but I just can't 100% tell you if I did do that or not.
Okay. At what time did you and him meet back up here?
Wow, chat's flying. Thank you. Political Junkie 101. Thank you so much for the $13.99 super sticker. I totally didn't see that. Thank you. $9.90 or 99 cents. Drew, all is helpful. And Kimberly McDonald's one Guilty of Crime membership. Thank you so much. Let's keep that going, y'all. If you guys can give memberships to these wonderful people in chat, you guys are doing awesome. And hello, Carrie. How are you doing? Let's go.
Plunder, true crime audio.
So I got back from my blood work appointment anytime between, let's say 11:15, 11:30. So sometime around that time.
And was he already here?
Yes.
Okay. What did you guys talk about when you got home?
What happened this morning?
What did he say?
What does that mean? What happened this morning? We know what happened that morning, but what did he tell her? That's what I want to know. What did happen? Marsha Young, thank you so much for the one Guilty of Crime membership. So many people in chat today. Sorry, I'm a little preoccupied.
Hey, what happened this morning?
He's like, we had a good morning. We made really good time. Maddie got ready super quick. We were out the door super quickly. I was super impressed with our time. I tried convincing Maddie to go have McDonald's breakfast a few times, but she changed her mind and decided she didn't want to. She just wanted to sleep in the car. And the thing is, the night before, we had discussed, oh, Maddie, maybe he should leave a little bit earlier than normal so that you can go get breakfast with him at McDonald's. That would be a really cool day to start a Monday right after your birthday, having McDonald's at breakfast. And she's
This story has changed quite a significant amount each time. So I want you to keep that in mind. Barbara Murray, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. You say, I'm new here. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe, but respect your channel. The detective is as disgusted as we are. We are very disgusted. All opinions are welcome. We love you all, and I appreciate you being here. So everybody is being so nice to each other, whether you think Jen knew, or not.
like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. So they were supposed to have gone to McDonald's, but he told me they didn't. He told me he had left his phone because I had, no, he had already told me this earlier that he had left his phone.
Plunder.
What else?
True crime audio.
Does it? Right.
We sat in my room for a while, hung out.
What'd you talk about?
He discussed having to reset his phone even though he didn't want to, or no, not reset his phone. He discussed needing to
You know what's really weird is that Jen Soto was diligent about checking supposedly Maddie's phone and checking different things that she talks about throughout the interviews, but she never checked Stefan's phone to see what was on there. She never checked Maddie's phone to see who she was speaking with all day or texting with all day or talking to. She never looked at her call logs. That really does surprise me. Hello, M. How you doing? Patty Ward, perfect timing. Thank you so much for the $4 super sticker. I appreciate y'all. Yes, you guys, we need to arrest Jen Soto. Please do sign that petition. Please, please, and more, please.
update his phone because he's been avoiding an update for so long. But I think it's time to do it. And I said, just do it. Stop avoiding it. Just do it. And he started the update. And then through the update, he's like, oh my God, I don't know what button I pressed, but I just factory erased my entire phone. And I said, that was stupid. How'd you manage to do that? He goes, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention and I just clicked the button and it happened. And I said, oh, okay. That's unfortunate.
That's unfortunate.
Or did he tell you he meant to reset his phone?
No, he didn't tell me he meant to reset his phone. He acted like and said that it was an accident.
Mm-hmm.
Did you find that odd?
Of course I find that fucking odd. That's suspicious as hell. That
Have you ever reset any kind of phone?
me, I have no idea how to do that.
Okay. Have you ever had to do an update on a phone?
I think so. On these phones, yeah. Sometimes it'll ask me to just continue on with the update. And do I remember it ever asking me to erase? No.
True crime audio.
Okay.
But he's got a Samsung. I have Apple, so I don't know if there is a difference or not. So
All right. Now that you mentioned phones, so Maddie had a phone.
Yeah.
And explain to me what her attachment is to her phone.
her phone is her lifeline. That's how she talks to all of her friends. That's how she talks to any of us. She's constantly on video chat with her best friend or talking to them or playing video games with them.
So it's Maddie's lifeline, but she forgot it at school and she forgets it often. And it's her lifeline. Her life is on the phone, but Jen Soto doesn't check it. Come on, get real. Teresa Knight, thank you for the $5 super chat. Let's all remember how isolated the dub site was and the area that Jen knew. Yes, please do remember that because many people are talking about that area. A note that she had written down of that address of that area. She says Stephan Sterns didn't know the area. She clearly says that. And yeah, you thought she had no friends. That's another thing. Maddie didn't have friends, but then all of a sudden she does. And this is her lifeline. Come on. Really?
But she's on her phone pretty often. What exactly would you like to know about her phone?
So, At one point, you told either a deputy or officer or detectives that sometimes she leaves her phone at home when she
Plunder.
goes to school.
True crime audio.
How often do you think that is?
I would say once every few weeks. It happens a lot. Like for me, that's a lot. She has ADHD. She's very forgetful. She'll set something down and completely forget where she said it later. Where I found her phone was on her dresser. So I'm assuming she placed it there while she was getting ready and completely forgot about it, got ready, grabbed her backpack and left. But it was on the dresser in front of her TV. But for me, that's a normal thing for her to forget her phone.
Now, I go back and forth with this Micah because I believe she didn't check her phone either. However, her being absent and uninvolved, I don't know about that because certain times she seems like she's so involved. The things she says lead me to believe opposite, but I do go back and forth and she hasn't been arrested. Stella, Jay, can you explain the immunity situation? Yes, she is not immune. She's only immune for derivative use, which was the one time that they gave it to her, what they call queen for the day. So she was only immune for that interview, and if she lies, then it's broken. She lied many times. So let's continue on that note. She doesn't have full immunity. If you go back to my video yesterday, I broke it down for you a lot.
Now, when she went, do you remember what time she went to bed on Sunday?
I sent them to bed around 11 o'clock.
Okay. Did you see him or her anytime after that other than in the morning? Or talk to them? Either via text or yell through the walls or...
No, nothing like that. If anything, Stefan may have come down to use
Plunder.
the restroom.
True crime audio.
Why wouldn't he use the restroom upstairs?
Because our roommate does not like sharing. Our roommate does not like sharing bathrooms with Ned, and she asked we don't use that bathroom, or that he doesn't use that bathroom specifically. So we've respected her wishes, and he's been using my bathroom this whole time.
Okay.
Unnecessary details sometimes, and other times not enough. And then many times she sticks to the same weird story that has too many details. Barb, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. After the Woody comment, she looked at MS phone, Maddie Soto's phone. How do we know that she looked at Maddie's phone?
Were you supposed to work Monday?
No, I was off.
Okay. What about Tuesday?
Off. Wednesday, I was supposed to work.
Yes.
And you told me you work at the front desk at Coronado Springs at Disney.
Yes.
How long have you worked there?
Less than a week.
What?
Okay. Did you work anywhere prior to that?
I was a substitute teacher for Kelly Education.
And how long did you do that?
All right, folks. She was a substitute teacher. I told you guys that a few videos back when we had CM, the ex-roommate, on. She told us that Jennifer Soto was a substitute teacher and had to go through classes to identify if a child is being abused, to identify if something bad is happening at home in general, if the kid's got, anxiety, just special needs of a kid. Jen did have that training, supposedly. M.M. Clark, thank you so much. Madeline Soto would not have been failing if Jen was there. All right, so did you just hear that? It is all about Jen. Thank you for being a member for 3 months, but she was a substitute teacher. I'm glad to finally hear that out loud. All right, let's go.
Maybe a month or two. Not very long. And then before that, I've been unemployed. I've been living off disability, essentially. Mm-hmm. I'm disabled.
Okay, why are you disabled? From what?
I have a bunch of things. Primarily PTSD.
From what?
Again, it's all about Jen. Jen's disabled. Jen has PTSD. Let's hear more about Jen. No, she doesn't have a teaching degree, but just enough to be a substitute teacher, which requires, and what we talked about before, it requires a certain level of education and knowledge about the children and how they behave, certain signs to see if a child's being abused. So, yeah, and she is a lazy ass. All right, let's go. I thought you guys would think that was important.
For PTSD, bipolar 2, generalized anxiety, ADHD.
He asked her why she has PTSD, folks, and I didn't hear an answer. Did you? Now she's just listing off what's wrong with her.
I think that's pretty much it with my psychiatric stuff.
Okay,
But
if you don't mind me
why?
asking what happened with
Plunder, true crime audio.
I went on a date with a guy I had met.
was this before Stefan or
Yeah, this was before
okay?
Stefan. This was way before. It was a few years before Stefan.
Thank
Maybe the year
you.
before Stefan. But met a guy at a car dealership who interviewed me for a job. I turned the job down, and he said, "Oh, great, I can't date my employees." And I said, "Oh, what do you mean?" He goes, "Yeah, I want to take you out on a date." And I said, "Oh, wow, I've never been asked out on a date in person before." And we went out on a date. He got really drunk.
All right, Joe, why would she tell the officer that right now? Please do tell me. I am going to refer to Unusual Details by Deception Detective. When liars plan a false story ahead of time, the process is known as scripting. Scripted stories tend to be overly logical and bland, lacking unusual or sensory details. For the liar, this strategy makes the story appear more believable and easier to recall. Therefore, if a narrative lacks unusual details or developments, it might indicate it being scripted. Trying to cover her ass in layman's terms, yes, NG, yes.
We got back to his place.
Why? Why tell us this?
Plunder, true crime audio.
What happened? It's just, I guess it's.
All right.
If you didn't work, what would your typical day look like?
My entire day was focused around Maddie.
On a normal basis?
Oh, yeah.
I would wake up first thing in the morning, make sure she was ready, make her
Wow.
breakfast, get her backpack and water bottle ready. If she's taking lunch, get her some lunch ready. This is me doing this while she's getting ready. Walk the dog. Come
Plunder,
back.
true
Make sure she
crime
takes all her medications
audio.
before school. Take her to school. Come back.
This is the first time we've heard that Jennifer Soto's day revolves around Maddie's life and her feeding her breakfast and her being watchful and mindful. As a matter of fact, that's why we call her the potato, because Oblivious Benson believes wholeheartedly that Jen Soto probably didn't know, but she was just a potato that did nothing. Cammy says, if you were assaulted, wouldn't that make you more protective of your daughter with men? You would think so, but you never know. She wasn't. And in my opinion, she was handing Maddie over purposefully to keep him around. All right, let's go.
I typically have a bunch of doctor's appointments to go to often. So I'm either at doctor's appointments. If I'm not at doctor's appointments, I'm just here at home, probably napping, resting, just waiting until it's time to pick her up from school again. She was my entire life. Everything I did was, my everyday was for her.
It was Maddie.
Did Stefan know about your doctor appointment on Monday? Did you tell him what your plans were on Sunday?
I'm not sure when I told him.
Now, that can be many mental health issues, how she gets really emotional and then just completely stops. She could be extremely gullible. But the officer, it's so bad that the officer calls it out to her, which is kind of rare. He kind of gave her a little freebie pass because after he tells her that, she plays up to it.
I must have told him Sunday night, yeah, or Sunday, because there's no way I could have told him Monday morning if he didn't have his phone on him, and I didn't really talk to him that morning.
Where'd you meet him?
We both worked at a real estate office off of iDrive somewhere. They're called Eco Homes. I don't think they exist anymore though. The Eco Home Company. I think he was a real estate agent for them or did warranty work for them. And I was an appointment setter. And I didn't have that job for very long. I got fired. It was right after my PTSD incident. I couldn't hold down a job at all.
Poor Jen.
So when you and Stefan would hang out, say Maddie's at school and you two wanted to hang out, or the three of you wanted to hang out, like what would you guys do? Like where would you go? Or
Primarily Disney. We have Disney annual pass holders. We both worked for Disney at one point. Well, at least he worked there at one point. I still work there. But we go to Disney. Or we'd stay at home and they would play board games, or we'd watch. Well, we loved watching movies. We would always have family time and just watch a new movie. Like I felt like it was one of our projects to make sure that she watched all the good movies from the 80s and 90s that we grew up watching. I just wanted her to have the knowledge of pop culture. So last movie we watched with her was Sister Act.
When was that?
Sunday night.
When?
Would you go out to eat?
When on Sunday night, in between that 30 minutes of you coming home and sending her to bed with Stephan Sterns. And I wonder why they keep talking about that Sister Act movie. It's very important that they talk about that. And you're right, Tiff Knox, it's all past tense. She does that several times regarding Maddie. She uses past tense and the officer writes it down. All right, let's listen to the answer.
Eat anywhere, like a favorite restaurant or anything like that?
The only restaurant I think we frequented a handful of times in the last year is La Mexicana.
Right.
It's on
Plunder, True Crime Audio.
Honestly, living on disability and then his income at Disney, it wasn't enough to survive. We really didn't eat out often. We couldn't afford it.
Okay. Would you go visit any parks or other than not Disney parks, but neighborhood parks or anything like that?
No, we'd hang out right here at this lake.
Mm-hmm.
Maddie really liked hanging out at this lake and just drawing, sitting on one of the benches and drawing.
He's trying to figure out what else she did with Maddie, if she was actually a good mother or not. He's trying to gauge that. Carol Johansson, thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat. Lying Spud Justice for Madeline Sophia. Thank you. I think it's supposed to say Madeline Soto, but autocorrect. We love you. Thank you.
Any other park? No, not really.
Now, what if it was just you and him? Say going out on a date or...
All right, real quick, we'll get into that. But Ashton Lee, really, really quickly, Juan is her biological father. He owns the condo. It's been up for sale twice, taken down twice, and it will probably go back up. So the condo owner is in fact her biological father, not her ex-husband's. It's her dad. And he purchased it, and she's blaming him for renting out the rooms, all those rooms, which in fact, I think he charged her rent, and she rented out the rooms to pay the rent.
Or wherever, where would you guys typically go?
So, due to money, hardly ever went out on a date. Honestly, we hardly went on dates. There's only one date I can think of that we went on, and that was like years ago at the beginning of our relationship, where we went to Disney Springs. I went to the Edison. I don't think we've had many date nights, just him and me. It's always been the three of us doing something, going to dinner, going to Disney Springs.
Of course.
We visit Disney Springs.
What a healthy relationship. That, in fact, is why she used Maddie to string him along. I don't think he was interested in Jen at all. And if you do believe that he was grooming Maddie and grooming Jen, well, then bravo, Stefan. You did a fantastic job.
Sometimes, often, well, not often, but sometimes we really liked that restaurant, Deluxe Burger. Really good. She really enjoyed it there.
Now, the dynamic between you three. I know you told me that sometimes you and her would sleep in the bed.
Yeah.
Sometimes the three of you would sleep in the bed. And then sometimes you would send him and her to a bedroom so you can get a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
How long has that been going on?
Okay, so
Plunder, true crime audio.
I'm going to say back in June. It was primarily the three of us sleeping in bed together all the time.
And why? How did that start?
Maddie has always slept in the bed with me. She's always slept in my room. Only when we lived in that apartment in Northport did she have her own bedroom, and we could afford for her to have her own room. So that was the only time she's actually had her own room. Here,
She did have a room. In fact, when CM lived at the condo, Maddie had her own room when Juan lived there. He did not have random people living there, and the rooms were not numbered. Thank you, Barb Murray, for the $2 super chat. Texting dad and same mirror under the door. She knew. That is another odd thing that she does. And thank you, Ivan Haveron, for the $4.99 super sticker pound. Very unusual details, and I will bet a lot that she's going to get arrested at some point. They're not doing these interviews for their health, and yes, they do want her as a state witness, like Wendy Adelson, but they'll use her and then they'll do what they want.
shared a room with me. When she was a baby, she had her own bedroom here for a few years, but once she got older and we started having roommates and all that stuff, she started just staying with me in my bedroom. Stefan, during the times that we did live with Stefan, it would be the three of us in this bed down here, down in the master bedroom. It wasn't until June of last year that we had broken up, and I said, okay, I don't want to sleep in the same bed with you. Please move upstairs. And he moved upstairs.
Plunder, true crime audio.
At this point, Maddie pretty much slept with me all the time. I think I can count.
Let's see.
I think I can count maybe on one hand how many times she's gone upstairs to sleep with him alone, because I wasn't comfortable with it. I was like, no, it doesn't look right. Like, it just doesn't seem right. Like, I'm not comfortable with it. Maddie, you got to sleep with me. And I've told him that. But there were times that they'd beg for sleepovers. Like, please, we just want to stay up late watching movies. And I would be too tired to stay up late. So I would say, fine, go ahead and do it. But just this once, like.
When did you start becoming comfortable with it?
I don't know if I was ever comfortable with it.
All right, here we go. So for 5+ years, she was sending Maddie to sleep with Stefan. They begged. Trigger warning, everybody. Thank you for the 99-cent super sticker. I'm trying to slow down chat as we listen to this. So, yeah, I do believe she wanted them together. I think she absolutely baited. I think, see, a lot of people think Jen Soto was groomed, but I think she actually was the puppet master in this. I'm sorry to say that, but it was her house, her job, her money, her daughter. I think that we're giving her more credit than she deserves, but I don't think that she's this mastermind that's getting the cops to believe what she's saying. But I do think that she had a lot of power and she used it.
But you told them to go Sunday night to go sleep together.
I did. That was a selfish move on my part. It's because I wanted a good
Yep.
night's sleep. I didn't want her kicking me or rolling onto me or waking me up or to hear her alarm so that it woke me up. I wanted to keep sleeping until I needed to sleep because I just had not, with my training schedule, I have not had a good night's sleep. My medication was out of whack. I was feeling funny and not like myself. And I knew that I needed another night's sleep and my medication in my body like ASAP. So I needed to go to bed. So I wasn't even comfortable sending her that night, but I just did it for my own selfish reasons.
Okay. Did you know?
She'll acknowledge that, and that's about it, everybody. She does have a lot of excuses and unusual stories about everything. All right, let's go. I can't figure out how to slow down chat. If anybody wants to let me know, please do.
Plunder. True crime audio.
Thank you, Plunder. We appreciate that.
He's never said anything to you or anything about it.
If anything, I've always told him that my biggest fear is that this would turn into a Woody Allen situation where
there
the
it is.
stepdaughter or the dad grooms the child and the child.
There it is, everybody. Her gut feeling told her about Woody Allen, and I'm trying to slow down chat, folks. I just don't know how to slow down chat. So if anybody can let me know how to slow down chat, or just give me a few minutes to while I'm listening to look up how to slow down chat, okay? Thank you for being patient with me. I know there's 1,600 people here, and let's rewind this so you can hear that. Again, Woody Allen, we all know he married his stepdaughter. Is that correct? Let's listen. Red flag.
And I knew that I needed another night's sleep and my medication in my body like ASAP. So I needed to go to bed. So I wasn't even comfortable sending her that night, but I just did it for my own selfish reasons.
Okay. Did you know?
Plunder. True crime audio.
He's never said anything to you or anything about it.
If anything, I've always told him that my biggest fear is that this would turn into a Woody Allen situation where the stepdaughter or the dad grooms the child and the child turns 18 and ends up running away with him. I told him like that was my biggest fear and I don't ever want that happening. Like, you can't do that to me. Like,
why would you say that to him?
Because I never trusted. I grew up being told never trust a man. My mom put that in my body. Never trust a man. And like, I did not completely 100% trust the man, but in my, like, the logic in my head was saying, you know, he's been in your life for 7 years. Nothing's happened. He hasn't shown you anything that he's weird or that he's done or that he's interested in her or said anything about her body or talked to her about her in any specific way that like freaked me out. He's never said anything like that or shown me any of those signs. So I thought I could trust him, that he was safe, that he was a good guy and that he was taking care of my baby and loved her the way I loved her. But I was wrong.
Yes, because you may think he was whatever.
No. Lots of pauses here. This is new audio. And Bree, I don't know where you're saying. You said slow mode, create a live stream, click edit, but I don't know where from. So I'm going to have to look this up while you guys are listening. I don't want to mess up the stream.
I know.
Oh, stop fake crying, lady.
Plunder. True crime audio.
All right, hold on. Come on, Jen. Let's go.
So I need you to, I know this is a lot, but Monday morning, I really need you to focus on his actions Monday morning.
Okay.
So you go to help him with the dog. Okay.
Yeah.
And do you or do you not see Maddie?
I do not see Maddie.
Okay. At that time, would it be normal for her to be awake, getting up, ready for school?
Yes.
Okay. And according to you, she typically does that in her bedroom.
Yes.
Okay. When you go out of your bedroom to help him with this dog.
I never left my bedroom.
Didn't?
He was in my bedroom. He walked in. The dog was on top of my bed, and he went to leash the dog on top of my bed. I got off the bed to try to help him with that, and then he said, "No, go back to sleep." So I did.
Okay. He tells you that he took Maddie to school and drops her off somewhere near the school so she could walk because she doesn't want to be seen inside of his car.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you believe him?
I don't think so.
Why?
Because the evidence, because the photos, because of what you're telling me. Because
Plunder. True crime audio.
Now, she says he's clearly a liar, but she also talks about him being a master manipulator later on, and that even the parents said that he's a liar. Which one is it, Jen? Is he a liar, or do you trust him and believe him fully? Which one is it? Yeah, I believe she's trying to play law enforcement like a fiddle, but I don't think that officer's buying it, or he wouldn't call her out like that.
I want to hope my daughter's alive and out there and that she was taken. I don't know anymore.
Well, I can be fairly confident that a stranger did not take Maddie. The only person she was with was Stefan.
Why would he go to Northport?
I don't know. I don't know what's in Northport other than his parents. Did you know he was going to Northport?
I thought when I woke up and he wasn't in the hotel, I thought he had gone to the Target Plaza right next door to the hotel we were staying at because he likes to go shopping when he's stressed.
So now she's going to stop with the tears. I don't necessarily think they were completely fake. I do think she was crying in the way that Jen Soto cries, but all these signs that she remembers, all the signs that she knows. Stefan, he goes shopping when he's stressed, when he has anxiety. Talks about him being a master manipulator. The dad telling her, why can't she draw from that before? Now she'll continue to keep doing this as we keep going along. And thank you for slowing chat, Carly. I appreciate that. I couldn't figure it out. Thank you. Remember, I'm still a new creator. I've been here since January or February. So about 7-8 months.
But that's not what happened according to you guys. He actually went all the way to Northport and came back.
So when he gets stressed, he likes to go shopping.
Yeah.
Okay. Did he tell you he was going shopping on Monday?
He was going to go stop at a few game shops to see if they had any Lorcana cards for sale.
Would that be considered stressful shopping?
There you go.
In your mind or your eyes?
No, because he does this often. He'll want to see what stores have what in stock to see if he can afford to buy it or
audio.
not. Mm-hmm. He'll go from shop to shop. He does this. He does that.
Okay. So going back to it, he says he drops Maddie off and he sees her walking towards the school.
Yeah.
And then did he tell you where he went after that?
He said he drove around for a little bit, killing time, and then
Killing time for what?
We're going to hear that a few times. Killing time. JVA, I'm glad you discovered the channel. Please do hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and share. Not because you like what the content is, but because you like how it's presented and being with the crime crew. So thank you, and thank you all for the super chat, super stickers, gifted memberships. We have 1,662 people in chat. If you guys can gift memberships, that'd be great. And I'll do my part as well. Thank you so much. Yes, hit the like button for me. And definitely, we want justice for Maddie. I'm going to drop the link again for the petition. Please do sign that petition to arrest Jen Soto.
for the vape shop to open.
Okay.
And then I think he told me he waited. No, he told me he waited in front of the vape shop for it to open. But I think that it didn't open. It never opened in time when it was supposed to.
Do you know what vape shop he went to?
Yes. And I know that I brought this vape shop up to one of the other detectives earlier, and I had shown them this location.
Yes.
But that vape shop is located in a plaza where it has an Amscot on one corner and a Vape on the other corner. So if you guys could probably find video footage of if he was even there, pulling in and out. That's another street.
And you.
All right, now she questions him, and I do wonder if she's questioning him because she knows she needs to play that up for the officer. She doesn't want to be too hard on his side, or is it genuine? Is she genuinely switching up on him? I feel like she's doing that because she knows the officer already knows, and he's disgusted, so she needs to be. We'll see. Wednesday says on the iPhone there's no option to gift memberships. However, on Duty Ron, I do see that option. I don't know. I'm sorry, but I'm glad you're thinking of us.
You know for a fact this is where he went?
That's where he told me. Yeah. If it's any vape shop, it's this vape shop. And
Why that one? Why that specific one?
he likes the brand, the e-smoker company. And that's where he gets all of his vape stuff. He won't go to any other vape shop around here. He goes to that one.
What time is this vape shop supposed to open? Does it say on there?
10 a.m.
Plunder.
Okay.
True crime audio.
When you guys are here, are you guys assigned garage remotes for
Yes.
how many of those do you have?
I have one. Stefan has one. I'm not sure if Angelica or Natalie have one.
Is this?
She talks about being bipolar, and right now they're talking about the vape pens. Again, more details that I'm not really sure why he's asking, but I know he's leading up to something that he's trying to figure out. Maybe they found something. I just saw this morning, I was reading paperwork where they put trackers on the vehicles, which is interesting because they did that before many things happened, before the arrest, obviously. So they were looking at both of them early on.
Something you keep in your pocket, or
I keep in my car.
what about Stefan?
I think sometimes he brings it, leaves it in the car. Sometimes he brings it in with himself. It depends.
Why would he bring it inside?
I'm not sure.
Does that seem normal to you to bring a garage remote inside the house?
There are. Okay.
But he said that morning he left the house. He said that morning he left the house and then returned again because he forgot the garage clicker. So he came back to get
True
the clicker.
crime audio.
I don't know how true that is or not.
You think that was odd?
So So now she is questioning Stefan. The question is she genuine or is she not? You guys can decide for yourself. I won't be upset, whatever you say. I still am going to say arrest Jen Soto. Always. No sister act mentioned with the lawyer. I believe Stefan told her to say it. Scripted. There's so many things that are scripted. That's why they gave her that derivative immunity, because I'm looking at her statement right in front of me, and she said she saw her at 8 a.m., which was a big fat lie. She was already passed away by then. So, yeah, so many things she lied about, and she continues to, even in the derivative immunity interview. And yes, there is more new content coming real soon, tomorrow.
He's a very forgetful guy. I don't fucking know what to think of him anymore. I don't know if he's lying. I don't know. I don't know.
Now, when she starts cussing, I do believe she's trying to engage with the officer and be on his level. That's what I hear the whole time. It doesn't sound like it's genuine or coming from her being angry, in my opinion. She doesn't sound like she's got that deep down anger about Stefan. It's just, I want to relate to this officer and be on the same page so that she's believable.
All right. So you know you're all around.
Possibly.
Yeah. That's Maddie asleep in the car.
Maddie's not asleep in the car.
What do you mean?
Thank you. Here it is.
Do you believe?
All right, y'all. Here it is. This is why I named this episode Jennifer Soto. Maddie's dead in the car. New audio, never before heard. Breaking. Right? So this is why, this is what got me. This whole interview led up to this. And now, after it leads up to this, you're going to hear how she acts, knowing not only was her daughter abused for years in that SA way, but he also took her life. So everything that Stephan Sterns told Jen Soto, every chat they had, every time he went cruising for her, everything that led up to this moment is on Maddie's life being taken by Stephan Sterns. Yes, very heartbreaking. Trigger warning.
If Maddie's asleep there?
Is she dead?
I don't know.
Huh?
We don't know where she's at.
It's an odd way for her to be laying down sleeping.
Right? You don't say.
So this is at 7:30 in the morning. Ish.
It's way too early.
You
She
think?
said you thought around 8 o'clock.
Because I assumed that he was getting her ready for school. So that would be the time he'd wake me up and take her.
So you didn't actually see her at 8 o'clock like you said in the statements? All right, let's go.
It was earlier.
Just for the recording, this is a video from within the complex that shows the front angle
Exactly.
through the windshield.
Yes. So the next picture is going to be Maddie in the front seat of Stefan's car. You see right here?
Mm-hmm.
That's taken at 9 o'clock near SeaWorld.
All right. Do you think we're ever going to get body cam footage of this? I do hope so. It will give us a better understanding of her body language, and then we could then take a look at that. Liar, liar, liar. I agree. All right.
9 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Plunder. True crime audio.
Where did he go?
I'm hoping you can tell me that.
Yep.
He went to SeaWorld?
He's near SeaWorld. That's International Drive.
What? He went to SeaWorld? How come I didn't know about this? Yeah, this is very disturbing, but everything led up to this. An officer wanting to see how she reacts and then calling her out on how she reacts after that. Yeah, a lot of people would be inconsolable, but I don't want to talk about what a lot of people would do or wouldn't do. I want to stick to facts about the case. That's what I plan to do. Yeah, Jay, sounds so sick again. No, I actually have allergies. Today is a blasting day with just sunshine in California.
Does he know anybody up there?
I don't think so.
He doesn't have to go.
He doesn't have many friends like that. Like not locally. Does he have anywhere he would like to go?
Is there a special place he likes to go?
AKA Jen, where did he dump the body? Or where did you guys dump the body? You keep saying we. That's what he's trying to figure out.
Nothing I can think of.
Right.
Here's another picture from the dumpster in Venetian Bay of Stefan throwing away trash.
What day?
That's going to be Monday morning, probably around 7:45.
Has that already been taken? Have you guys been able to look at what was dumped? What was thrown out?
What do you think was in there?
Clothes?
Wow.
I don't know.
What makes you say clothes?
Clothes? Why would she say clothes? Huh.
Plunders. True crime audio.
I can't tell what he's holding. I don't know if it's a plastic bag full of stuff or...
Inside of that bag is Maddie's backpack, Maddie's school computer, and one of her Crocs.
Are you telling me we're looking for a body right now?
We're looking for Maddie, absolutely. 100% we're looking for her.
No. It's most likely she's not alive.
I don't know. I can't answer that. I have a...
There you go. Trigger warning for those that are sensitive. I've listened to this about 5 times, so buckle up.
feeling that you and Stefan have some sort of communication on places he likes to go, or so, because some of the questions that I ask, it seems like you almost not cover up for him, but kind of defend him or have answers to some of these questions.
Because I want you to have more further insight as to why he might do things.
But you saying he's forgetful and
Maddie too. I just want you to understand, like, we're all the same. We're all very forgetful. We're all very time blind.
All right. Now she's going to start defending herself, and the cop's going to call her out like I think that she should have. And you guys definitely, people that are wanting memberships, do have them, right? I'll call that out if I see it. Let's go.
It's just part of our ADHD. I just want you to know, like...
What kind of grades does she make at school?
Not great.
Not great? No. What about her attendance record?
She's got a lot of doctor's appointments that we've gone to. So she's got a lot of absences.
Are they excused or unexcused?
I want to say for the most part, excused. Every time I take her to a doctor's office, I bring a note.
Mm-hmm. Do you know that for sure, or...
Well, why wasn't the doctor seeing her about her body, about the things that were going on with her physical body? A lot of us know that if she went to the doctor would have seen rips, tears, things that a young lady shouldn't have at that age. by being inflicted by Stephan Sterns being 220 pounds and 6 foot something, doing that for years. Love this channel. XOXO Vegas Gem. How you doing? All right, let's keep going. This is definitely over the top.
We're working on getting her school attendance record. I'm just wondering if you being a parent, I would hope that you would know kind of like what her, because I know my daughter's school
Plunder.
that
True
if any of them
crime
miss one
audio.
period or 2 periods or something like that, they will call me and say, hey, such and such missed periods 3 or missed period 7 or something like that.
All right, she's going to start to defend herself right now. Let's count that down. And thank you, 99 pink balloons. Jen, you were never like Maddie. Never like Maddie, right?
That just,
They don't do that. They send out an email and a voicemail, like an automated voicemail, saying your child was absent today from Hunter Street
that's what I
Middle
just said.
School, but not period 1, 2, 3. And it's not early in the morning like some other states do. It's late in the evening at 5 o'clock, or it's really late.
Totally after the fact.
Yeah, totally after. Like it's.
Have you got a lot of those phone calls of her missing class?
Yes or no?
I would say, yeah, I've got a good number of those voicemails and stuff. But I mean,
Yep.
even with excused doctor's notes, I'll still get those phone calls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they miss school.
Yeah. So
all right, this is her trying to be chill with the officer and relate to him and him empathize for her. Listen up, it's coming. And thank you, Tracy, for saying you'd love a membership. Hopefully the next membership you will get. When you light up green, you've got a membership.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of those.
Okay. When you say she doesn't make good grades, what's considered not making good grades?
C under, C, D, F.
Wow.
She's got an IEP.
Mm-hmm.
She struggles with. She's got a few learning disabilities with reading, with mathematics. Her ADHD doesn't help anything at all. She's very spacey, very like she could see a squirrel and completely forget. Like the teachers have told me, like they'll tell her to do.
That's not even funny, y'all. She's totally victim blaming. And she just said, oh, she could see a squirrel. And it's like when someone says squirrel. Oh, that's not funny, guys. Thank you so much, Carly, for gifting the One Guilty of Crime membership. You guys get it. Yeah, this is a lot of innocent children suffered and died this year. Maddie had been suffering for years. Sue, you're amazing. Thank you so much for gifting the 5 Guilty of Crime memberships. Get your membership, y'all. Thank you.
Her work, and she'll be like, oh, okay, and then see something, completely get sidetracked and then forget. And they're always on top of her.
Okay.
But yeah, she's just, I forgot where I was going with this. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Her grades
Squirrel.
and attendance.
Yeah. Her grades suffer because of her ADHD for sure. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons she got an IEP is because she's technically 2 years behind with her reading level.
So, Jen, why didn't you help her? You're her mother. Why didn't you help her with her reading? Or did you put that off to Stephan Sterns?
Okay. What grade is she in?
7th.
Okay. And I know we talked last night too, and I just kind of want to reiterate, has she had any changes in her behavior in the past few years?
I'll say yes. But it was all around where puberty hit, and like the typical teenage, the attitude, the sass, the talking back, the disrespect, the pushing boundaries.
Do you guys hear that? I know you hear the same thing I'm hearing. She really doesn't seem to like Maddie that much, and she picks up on that, but she's not picking up on the abuse, her body changing, signs to her body, her clothing. Yeah. Yes, you all, we're hearing this together.
She was very much doing that. But that calmed down over the last few months. It got even better when Stefan moved out and went to Northport. Maddie and I were actually seeing a therapist together to try to like work through our issues because we were having problems communicating.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So, Stefan, tell me about his. I know you say he likes to play board games and all that stuff. Is he like. What else does he like to do for fun?
He's a collector. He collects.
Play sports or anything like that?
No, he collects.
Some people were wondering what the black marks were. I want you to know that was them dusting for fingerprints. All right, let me hit that play. I'm going to be right back.
Games and hobbies. He collects. You know what
Keep going.
Tamagotchis are?
Mm-hmm.
He collects Tamagotchis. He's got so many of those. Digimons, lightsabers.
Does he like to go camping? Does he like to go to the beach or any of that stuff?
No, the beach makes him self-conscious because he doesn't like how his body looks. He calls himself flabby. But no, he's not an outdoorsy person. He doesn't play sports. He doesn't like the beach. Okay, he used to. Okay, this may be irrelevant. Back a few years ago, I used to own a scooter, an electric scooter, and he owned something called the One Wheel, which is like a kind of like a scooter but with one big round wheel in the middle. We would take that and ride around. The Kissimmee Trail connects back here, so we'd take that to the Kissimmee Bridge. Do that trail over there, come back, or also go into Shingle Creek, cross the street, across Hoagland, go behind an apartment complex, and we end up in Shingle Creek. We would ride all of that and explore all of that wetlands and greenery back there. But we haven't done that in a while. We haven't owned scooters or electronic devices in a few years.
Okay.
Tell me about, you said there was an apartment in Northport.
Yeah.
Is that Stefan's mom's and dad's? Or you guys had a separate apartment?
We rented our own separate apartment.
Okay. Where was that?
All right, he's trying to figure out where they've lived before and what area Stephan Sterns knows and doesn't know. He really does want to find Maddie's body, and that's what he thinks at this point. I want you to know that Jennifer Soto lived that way in St. Cloud before this apartment or condo. CBC, thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. Jennifer Soto says sleeping with Stephan Sterns wasn't that many times. She may not have known how many pictures there are. Her lying will be provable. Just saying. I agree so many times, and I really do hope that they're still looking for something to tie her to this crime.
Obviously Northport, but do you remember the complex name?
Let me see.
And how long ago was that?
This was back in 2020.
Okay.
I don't remember the month we moved in, but we moved out in November of 2020. We were there somewhere between 6 to 8 months.
Okay.
Let me see if I have there.
Was it just you three there?
Yes, it was just the three of us.
Okay.
Wow.
Is Northport, I've never been there. Is it a big city, small city?
Oh, I'm sorry. So the apartment we used to live in is in the town next door over. It's called Port Charlotte, Florida.
What do you guys think was going on when just the three of them lived together? I wonder there was no boundaries, nobody to stop what was happening.
Okay.
That's a small town. Northport, even smaller, I would say. but Northport being more popular because it's attached to Sarasota County, so it has more people living in it. Charlotte County is pretty small.
Is it rural?
I mean, there was a city center, and I mean, there was a Tamiami Trail ran through it.
Okay.
So major road, lots of businesses, lots of shops. So no, it's out in the middle of nowhere. But
fun fact is, Northport is the third largest city in the state of Florida, square miles wise.
Yeah. The name of the apartment complex I used to live in is called Charleston K.
Does it still exist today? Is that still what it's called?
Trying to find out where Maddie's body may be. Thank you, Moore, for gifting the Guilty of Crime membership, as well as Graciela Gonzalez. You guys make sure you have your membership gifting on, or your notifications, whatever you call that, so that you can receive a membership. And this is nauseating, but it's very necessary to see how the officers question her. He's trying to trip her up. It's very interesting that he says, fun fact. And she's like, huh? What?
I'm not sure. I can Google.
Thank you.
And you don't know him to still own it or rent it?
No, because it was under my name. The apartment
was under your name.
Yeah, and I'm the one who gave up the lease.
Okay.
As
Why?
far as I know, it still exists.
Oh, Charleston K like that. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
And you guys, so you were in that apartment for roughly 6 to 8 months, you said, right?
Yes.
Did you live in Port Charlotte or Northport for longer?
No, we immediately only that time we moved right back.
Okay. And what would you guys typically do around there?
We did absolutely nothing. It was during quarantine time, so we were very afraid of COVID, very afraid of going to the store and doing anything. We stayed home, watched movies, watched a lot of Netflix, played a lot of board games. But that was about it. We didn't. Sometimes we'd go to the beach, Venice Beach.
Yep.
But that's about it. We didn't really go anywhere.
Not much stuff outdoors during that time frame?
No, just Venice Beach.
Okay.
I think this is around the time where Maddie started getting assaulted on camera, on video, where they actually have, sorry about that, where they have we'll say the video to back it up. She is snitching on herself. The officers gathering everything that they could. Good one, Richard. Snort Ritalin, hang in bed with all three of them. Yeah, I think there was more going on, folks. I hate to say that. Yeah.
When did you realize that he went to Northport recently?
When one of the officers told me.
Okay. So what night was that?
Last night.
So they told you last night, or he went last night?
They told me last night that he had went earlier that morning to Northport in my car.
Okay. Were you guys staying at the hotel together?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you not notice him gone? Did you sleep through it?
I slept through it. I went to sleep around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. Okay. And I did not wake up until 9. And that's when I noticed he was gone. And I called Stefan's dad, Chris, who was in the same hotel. I said, hey, is Stefan with you? He goes, no, he's not with you. And I'm like, no, he must have left and my car keys are gone. He's like, oh.
I do think Marilyn McRae, it was a bit darker than we know, and it may come out if Stefan decides to get himself off of death row, which he's not on, but I have a feeling they're going to go for the death penalty. If he does talk and implicate her and he can prove it, I think he'll get off of that. Thank you, Jojo, for gifting a membership to Guilty of Crime.
Oh, I'm just like, maybe he ran out to get some food, or maybe he ran out to get something, or to Target. And he's like, okay, we'll just give him a little bit to wait.
Why didn't you call him? directly?
Stefan?
You have a phone?
I don't think he
Yeah.
had a phone.
Okay.
And I think his dad eventually did give him a phone for him to use, but that was later that morning, and I was never given that phone number either, so I never had a way to contact him.
Okay. Why do you think he would go
Plunder.
there?
True crime audio.
I was told he went into a storage unit. I have no freaking clue what he would be getting in a storage unit or hiding.
Do you know about the storage unit?
I have.
Of course, she doesn't have any clue. She doesn't know anything about Stephan Sterns. And yes, I wanted to bring to your attention, go subscribe after this to Plunder True Crime's Patreon. That's where many of us get our video, audio, etc. She puts all of it out. So thank you. Go support her channel.
I have heard of the storage unit. I've always known Chris or his parents to always have storage units. They own a lot of shit. They're kind of a little bit like hoarders, but they own a lot of stuff. They have, I think, a few storage units, or they did. I think they may have condensed down to just one, maybe. But
And now her tone changes again.
Yeah, I've always known them to have storage units.
Okay. And if you were to leave from Kissimmee,
Yeah.
what way would I go to get to Northport or Port Charlotte?
I-4 down to 75 to exit 179, I think, Toledo Blade Road.
Toledo Blade?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they live pretty close right off the highway.
Did you see him when he got back eventually?
Yes.
Did you ask him?
Yeah, where the fuck he was. I'm like, an officer's coming right now to
There it
interview
is.
us. Where the fuck have you been? This would have looked terrible if you weren't there. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I went out to go get some food and I found a Wawa and then I got turned around and I got lost and then
What?
I made it my way back here. And we're like, oh, okay. Not fucking thinking anything other than just believing him. I feel like so stupid because I don't know how long he's probably been lying to me about the stupidest shit for the longest time. Like
So he said he went out to get food.
Yeah. And he came back with he had a cup of from Wawa. He was drinking a drink.
I do want you guys to know that she all of a sudden cusses at the wrong time. I agree with that. I couldn't have said it better. And I will have to slow this down. I want to listen to the whole thing. I just don't know if I'm going to have time, y'all. So hang in here as we analyze this. I have 1,600 people in chat, and I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you.
Do you remember what time he got back?
Like 11:15 a.m.
Okay, so you were up around 9ish, you just told me?
Yeah.
So from the time you were up by the time you got back, roughly 2 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, and he came back with a Wawa cup.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
What? A what?
So during that time frame, he tells you he's been lost, got turned around, essentially.
Yeah. And he had no way.
For
He
2
didn't
hours.
have a
okay.
phone. He didn't know how to get back to the hotel room. That's obviously bullshit.
Yep. Listen to that.
Did you tell him that?
No, but no,
She's definitely trying to be on the same page as the officer. Listen to how she talks. Please do pay attention. That's why we're here together to call this out. Oh my God.
I'm speaking as from what I know right now. That's obviously bullshit. From what I was told by one of you guys, or from what I kind of calculated, he must have left the house in order for him to make this round trip to Northport and make it back by 11. He must have left 5 to 6 hours ago. So I'm just like, that makes it like 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, I don't know, something like that. I'm just like, so he waited for me to fall asleep and then he left.
And you said you went to bed around what time?
3:30, 4 o'clock.
100%.
He waited for me to fall asleep and he fucking left.
Okay, I get that part. Are you 100% that you went to sleep around that time?
Oh, that's what you're asking me. I thought you were confirming me like 100% that's what he's doing.
Stop.
Trying to see if there's any way I can like I saw the clock saying 3:30 when I got up to go to the bathroom. I was in the bathroom for a little while and then I came back.
And he was there.
He was there and he was asleep. So I went to bed around that time.
Yes.
I was in the bathroom for, I'm gonna say 10 to 15 minutes. I had terrible dinner and it just was not okay.
Okay, now she's really getting into details that we don't need to hear. Good. Thank you for being here, sweet and salty, aka Rachel. All right, let's keep going.
But when I got out, he was awake, or he was asleep. I'm sorry. He actually mentioned, "Oh man, I woke up really early this morning, around 4, and he mentioned waking up around 4ish because he had really bad diarrhea and used the restroom."
Oh my God.
He mentioned that the following day.
And just so I'm on the same thought process, what day were you guys in the hotel?
What day were we in the hotel?
Would that have been Tuesday night?
Let me see.
All right, and thank you, Kim Black, for the $5 super chat. What has she given them? Again, Stefan, absolutely nothing. She saw her Monday. They didn't. He was asleep in 15 minutes. Okay. I also saw someone chat that I just timed out. Literally just said, "Hey, I'm reporting this channel. I'm out of here." So go ahead and report my channel. I do talk to Plunder, and on a superficial level, but she does know that I'm using this. I've shouted her out. I've done everything I could. I've talked to her before, and I've bought documents from the docket. So if you want to report me, please do. We're all sharing this in the community. Whoever gets this out first wins, and whoever has the most amount of money that can buy this wins. But we all do share. So I appreciate you supporting my channel, dockets, and plunders. Thank you. Yeah, trolls. I just time them out. So if you guys see any, just time them out.
Really late Tuesday night, so I think it was technically Wednesday morning when we checked into the hotel. It was really early.
Thank you.
But yeah, Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning.
Thank you.
Plunder, true crime audio.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I want to divert a little bit with Maddie.
Maddie, y'all. Justice for Maddie.
Okay. Did she disclose to you about her? Has she had a period yet? Do you know?
Yeah.
Did she disclose to you about that?
Yes.
So do you know her regular cycle?
I usually put it. She usually tells me when she gets it, and we put it in an app.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
I must have missed it this month, or she must have not told me this month when she got it. But I have it written down when she got it back in January.
When should she have had it this month, roughly?
The beginning of the month. She got it January 1st. So it should have been around the end of February.
January 1st of February?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And was she pretty consistent on telling you?
Yeah, she would tell me when she would get her period. And then
For her being that close to Maddie, it's interesting that she was so close to Maddie but didn't know anything. Sensory details is important in this because liars often overlook sensory details. In stories that are fabricated, their narrative misses elements such as smell, taste, touch, temperature, pain, hunger, and thirst. That could indicate it's fabricated if you don't talk about your feelings and it's just duh, duh, duh. Very much so, folks. So I want you to not second guess yourself when you're feeling this way about her.
she'd actually also tell me every time she used the restroom, like, "Mom, success, I pooped." And I'm like, "Cool." Because
Thank you.
Right.
she's got GI issues.
Good question.
And she didn't tell you about this last cycle?
You guys.
No.
No.
Thank you.
Do you find that odd?
Yes. Now that you're bringing it up, yes.
Would there be obvious signs when she's on her cycle? As far as like certain products she might use?
Yeah, her pads.
Mm-hmm.
The pads she would use. I would get her a box about every 2 cycles or so. Because one box would last her 2 cycles. She would typically complain of her breast hurting, having terrible cramps.
Here, let me show you.
Plunder, true crime audio.
You hear any of that? Okay.
But you said she's been consistent every month telling you about her period?
She's been late a few times, and she's told me, or sometimes her period has lasted way longer than normal.
Do you guys, or you ladies, whoever, do you guys think that there's a possibility that her cycles can be irregular from just the sex that she's having? I wouldn't call it really that, but having that contact and that regular thing going on with her body that shouldn't be going yet. I wonder if that's the truth. And it just makes me curious about her cycles and why they were tracking them so closely. Yeah, Janet, thank you for confirming that. I think so too. Like, she wasn't supposed to be going through that kind of stress on her body. She shouldn't have had those hormones and those things going on with her. So it just makes me wonder, and why they tracked it so closely.
I'll call it irregular because mine was irregular when I was younger too. So I just assumed just her body working through it, trying to regulate itself.
Yes.
Do you find it odd that it would be a month late?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why is it quiet so long, everybody? What is she thinking about in there? Stefan also talks about her menstrual cycle as well, so I wonder if he was tracking it along with her. Oh, poor Maddie. Prayers for Maddie, everybody.
Those images you guys showed me with the car,
Mm-hmm.
is there any more?
Mm-hmm. I mean, none that I can show you right now, but yes, there's quite a few.
But we don't see where he ends up going in the car.
Wait, what? You didn't see where he goes in the car? What? This is them pausing. Oh, wait.
I have no idea. If I knew, I would tell you.
Back to crying.
What general direction did you say he headed in?
He's all over the place.
Justice for Maddie.
I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but this is just...
All right, here it is.
We've been doing this job a very long time, as you can tell without...
Here it is, y'all. This is the big one for me. This is really big. Yeah, the weak voice and the fake tears are, but listen to this, officer. This is right on. This is what they're thinking.
Look great in my beard. Your emotion when I told you
about Maddie,
you broke down like that. Do you remember that? Like instantly crying. But when you talk about her possibly missing, or God forbid,
yes,
deceased, that emotion changed.
What do you mean by changed?
So when I told you
Maddie. That's what they're saying.
You broke
Yeah.
down and started crying.
She sure
Okay.
did.
But then when I showed you the pictures and said that she may not be asleep in those pictures, your emotion just changed.
I don't want to believe it.
Yes,
I want to. In my heart, I know you're showing me what you're showing me, and you're telling me he threw away her backpack. And I want to assume the worst. I want to think. I don't want to assume the worst. I want to assume that she's still alive, that she's out there, that he's hidden her somewhere. But with what you're showing me, it feels like we're looking for a body. I'm just in shock.
Looking for a body. It's your daughter looking for a body or looking for Maddie. And when someone tells you I'm in shock, but they don't show those signs, that's also a big, huge, giant red flag. Wow. Yes. It feels.
I don't want to believe that she's dead in those images you showed me. She doesn't look like she's sleeping. Who's sleeping? When you sleep in a car, you sleep with your head on the door. Her head was over here, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's coming.
I don't know what you. I don't know what you want me to say or do, or.
She doesn't know what the officer wants her to say or how to feel. All right, this is what tips the scale for me on this interview. Jojo, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Someone match me or raise 10. LOL. Thank you. All helps for me to be able to continue streaming and bring out videos, live streams, all of it.
Just want my daughter back.
And this is exactly what I was just talking about.
There it is.
We are literally having a conversation right now about Maddie possibly being dead.
Yeah.
And
mic drop.
You have yet to shed a tear. But when I mentioned to you that
Yep, there you go. Yes.
You were crying violently almost. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Because that was physical proof. That was proof of what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
That destroyed me. That destroyed me. What a comment. All right, we got about 5 minutes here, y'all. And then I'll be back tomorrow.
Until that picture of her asleep or not asleep in the car is not proof to me until I see a body. I have hope that she's still alive. But I don't know what you're telling me. I'm starting to fucking doubt everything.
Thank you.
But
yes.
I can't tell you why I broke down over one, and I'm being really serious now.
Wow, guys. Thank you.
So here's what's going to happen. Starting tomorrow, it's already started. But tomorrow, there's going to be information being released between our department and Orange County's Sheriff's Office. Is that now this entire investigation is the Kissimmee Police Department's investigation.
True crime
I think I told you that
audio.
last night.
Yeah.
Okay. Right now, we are probably going to start working this case as a homicide.
Okay.
Because he's in jail right now for... Okay. He's in jail for that.
He just told her that Stephan Sterns is in jail for essaying Maddie, and she said, She's wondering when the officer's going to say, you were involved in this. You know, if he'd have done a little more prodding, I think he could have got her to give some sort of either confession or speak too much in the wrong way. I wish he was a little harder on her in this interview. Just a little tipping scale would have had her breaking. NG, thank you for the $2.99 super sticker. Let's go. You guys are so amazing. It does help me to feel better about things when there's trolls talking crap or bad comments on my page or YouTube drama. So thank you, because it really is hard to just carry that all day without hearing from you guys.
But we believe he possibly has done something to Maddie. And we want to know where he would possibly go.
Crickets, yep.
Now, this is going to be a very difficult situation. But do you have any knowledge of what he has done with her?
Thank you.
I wish I could tell you, but I have no idea. I wish I knew. I wish I knew I would tell you. Having it be switched to homicide makes it.
There it goes.
Special for me. Is there any more images you could show me?
Not at this time, no.
Thank you. She wants to see the pictures. Somebody said earlier she wants to see the pictures like Jodi Arias. I wonder if she wants to see the pictures so she can make herself cry even more. Why would you want to see the pictures? Very odd to me.
And he threw away her backpack.
Right?
That was her backpack in that bag.
Mm-hmm.
How long does somebody go to jail for this? Please tell me. It's so much.
If he did something.
All right, Jill. She's asking the police how long somebody could get for doing these crimes. I feel like she wants to know for herself how long she's going to get. Thank you for the $10 super chat, Silent Watcher. I appreciate the way you cover the cases. Thank you, Candace. Let's listen to this part and then we'll have a hard stop and I'll be back here tomorrow.
Something to her that led in her death, yeah, he's going to prison for life. He's probably going to prison for life.
So, like, multiple life sentences, fine. Fuck him. Oh my god.
Has he tried reaching out to you from jail?
No.
Has he tried reaching out to anybody from jail?
I don't know. I talked to his dad earlier, but
All right, she's going to stop crying again to talk about what she talked about his dad with, which sounds funny. Profe Frere, thank you so much for the $9.99 match, you say. And you know what? You did that, and then Candace matched you. I totally missed that. Thank you. Also, NG. All right, this is the part. Seals the deal.
he didn't share much information. I don't even. Did I ask him? I can't recall if I asked him if he's reached out to him. I don't remember his conversation this morning. Sorry.
Everything else? All right, we are going to check on the progress that they're making inside real quick.
Did he tell you where she's at?
No. I haven't spoken to.
He clearly doesn't believe her. He's asked multiple times to try to find Maddie's body and where they might have put her. And he still keeps asking her, yeah, I believe she's a con. It sounds so fake. This is it right here.
Like, since when? Like, in the hotel?
Anytime.
No, never. Like,
we need to find her.
I know. I wish I knew where to tell you guys to look. I fucking wish. Like, could you show me like a map of where around town he was so I could point out maybe this, maybe this, maybe this?
There's too many places.
Me too.
Has he ever talked about giving Maddie medication? Like any of his medication?
I don't think so, no.
You don't think so? Or
yeah, why?
No.
Okay. Have you ever given her any of your medication?
I'm in shock.
She's got her own anxiety medication.
Do you double check her medication?
When we give it to her? Yeah. I make sure I grab the bottle or she grabs the bottle, but like,
she completely switched up again, everybody. And I hate to do this to you, but I do have to go get my daughter. I'm right at that time. So I'm going to wrap this up. Listen to this last part about the medicine. And then I do have to go. I will be back tomorrow. And guys, there's so much to consume. And I appreciate all of you. Hold on. Oops.
like somebody's got eyes on her, grabbing the pills and taking them. Like, it's a tag team situation. She's not allowed to take them alone. So we just make sure that we got to watch her, because I don't want her to accidentally grab the wrong bottle and accidentally take Adderall before bed, because that sounds like a terrible idea.
Wow.
How long have you guys lived in Osceola County?
On and off for 12 years.
What about Stefan?
On and off for 6.
Okay. Would you say he's pretty familiar with Osceola County?
Love
Does he
you guys.
venture off?
No.
All right, we're about a few minutes short, but I do love you, and I'm gonna go get some non-drowsy Benadryl. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all the support tonight. I will be back tomorrow, and you'll probably see me in other chats lurking around. So I love you guys. I'll shout out to you when I get there. Thank you. #arrest Jen Soto. Please hit the like button on your way out if you like how I present true crime. See you guys soon. Love you. Mwah.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty of crime?